Mr. President, I want us to go down the memory lane, especially those of us that participated in the 9th Senate. There was so much argument at that time whether Nigeria was prepared to have effective and efficient electronic voting system, given the total coverage at the time. And it was very obvious that we didn't have the correct information regarding who is covered and who is not, especially in the Nigerian rural environment. INEC said it was prepared to have very smooth electronic voting. The Minister of Communications at that time came and said the coverage was less than 50%. That is to say, only about 50% of Nigeria could participate fully in the electronic voting system. Mr. President, I am also coming, and I want you to bear with me, my colleagues, from the idea of financial inclusion, because these two are issues that affect our people who are in the rural areas. Most of what we do today are online. Those who are not having access to the ICT are automatically shut out. And they're in a good number. Mr. President, I believe that the budget coming from NCC, the budget coming from CBN, the budget even from the Ministry of Finance should have focus on providing ICT access, or at least accessibility to these facilities these days for Nigerians to participate fully regardless of where they stay. Very soon, one day, we'll reach a point at which they will say elections will be electronically conducted, and arguments will ensue again. Similarly, Mr. President, we have been having a lot of empowerment programs, especially in the last administration, coming to this administration as well, that will say you access the platform. How do they access the platforms when they have no access facilities? So this should concern us. If nothing is reflected to that effect for giving financial inclusion or coverage in the terms of access to ICT, I think we should have a deliberate way of handling this before the 2027 elections will come, and then somebody will say, well, my people are not going to participate in this, and another person who is not from his place will say, no, you have access, and we will be the people to blame. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, DC. It has improved. So the chairman, the Senate Committee on Communications, you must also find out for us what the percentage of coverage is now, because like he said, one day we may end up with electronic voting system, and that will have to mean that ICT has penetrated all the rural areas in the country. And arising from what you said, you see there's a lot of injustice currently being wrought on our local communities, because even federal government agencies will tell you that for you to apply for a job, you have to go, the portal has been opened. You have to go online and apply. So how will somebody, a graduate in a community in the rural area that has no access to the internet, how is that person going to apply? How would the person even know when the portal is open and when the portal is closed? We mean that those jobs were never meant for them. And that can also account for the huge jobless graduates that we have in many of our rural communities who are not even aware when some of these portals are open and when some of them are closed. So we must find a way around it. And the chairman of Labor and Productivity in the Senate must find a way, because we have to work closely with employing agencies to be sure that the information is well disseminated, not just on the issue of we open the portal, portal is closed, and therefore you are shut out. As a Nigerian, you can be interviewed, you can be employed, simply because you don't have internet facilities in your area. Is there Senator Kobondo? You wanted to make a contribution?